Awkward silence.
Well, I'm waiting.
No. There we go. We're live.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're
live.
live.
If you're on here, do me a favor. Please get on there, like, comment, and share.
Control my hair today. God.
It looks good, man.
Van, you could have told me my hair's jacked up.
Tell him, Van.
How is everybody this Saturday morning?
Van won't tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Van will chum you.
Yeah, he will.
Who thinks Eric's hair looks good today?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I already thought it looked good.
Josh is
I
out.
just didn't say anything.
I don't think it looks
you
good.
know.
But now that you're looking straight at me, I can see the.
Yeah. You can?
I can see.
I've been watching The Sopranos lately. You just look like someone would be on like Tony Soprano.
Oh, yeah. I like
Maybe
that.
he is. Look, we had a guy on here, I forgot. He came while you were gone, Drew. And everybody was like, man, that's good. And I'm like, dude, no, you were terrible. You remember that?
Yeah. Just tell,
Good job.
Who was it?
tell him the truth.
Greg.
That's
I
right.
was here for
Were
that.
you here? Well, I mean, why would I tell him that?
Because if he
Makes
thinks
him feel
it's good, then
That's right. Why would he improve something if you're like, dude, that's good? Higley, that was terrible, man. But don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Everybody was terrible when they first started doing it.
Right.
Don't tell them. Josh, one of
that was good.
your first calls. Remember, Josh, like
Yeah, my first week.
you asked,
Yeah.
man, you asked like a terrible question. I'm like, dude, what are you trying to do? Get him fired? You trying to get him knocked out of here?
You
That was a terrible question.
Tell him the truth.
Well, if you care about him, if you want to service him, you will tell him what the truth is.
Yeah.
It's good.
See, whenever you don't want to tell him, it's more about your feelings. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to say something
I don't want to be that guy.
don't want to be that guy. But hey, what if Hayden wanted to? I'll say this about Hayden: as much hell as Hayden takes, as much hell as I give Hayden, that dude wants to get better. Do you agree with that?
I do.
So that's why he fits in here. He shows up late. We give him special permission to half-ass his life. Sooner or later, he'll overcome that. But I am certain that Hayden wants to do better. And because I want to do better, and this is what we're talking about today, building rapport in the 21st century, me and Hayden want the same thing. That's why we connect. He's staying at my house tonight, hopefully, unless I have to call him and run him out of there. But he's watching Lucky. Are you ready for that?
I am ready. I'm prepared.
Oh, Hayden is?
Two of the sun.
Part 2.
Part 2. Last time he kind of let us down a little bit.
In what way?
Well,
We'll get it. We ain't got enough time to go
all
into
right.
that because I'm going to make this show about 20, 25 minutes so I can get one last thing in of training. But
targets.
if you're if you're watching this today, what we're talking about is building rapport in the 21st century. So if you're watching this, I would like for somebody to type in, Josh, don't say it out loud. How do you build rapport with somebody that you just met in a greeting? And these are trick questions for a lot of people because they want to make sense out of what they want instead of what the customer wants. So if I'm talking to Eric and he doesn't know me, he might think, yeah, it would be really, really good if we knew each other. But you really don't care about knowing me until you know you want my product.
That's right.
You don't care about us being chums. You don't care about these things. Really, what you want more than that is to save time.
Yeah.
Drew said information. I think Drew said Drew is back. He answered 2 of them. People they really, really want time, information, and distance. So if I'm trying to sit here and build rapport with Eric, he's not in a position to where he's looking to build the relationship right now. So I know Eric came in and he's looking for information, and he wants me to give it to him as quickly as I can without getting up in his face.
That's right.
Let me get all your information. Let me enter you in the system. He don't like that. He probably don't even want to tell me his name. That's why I'm gonna say, hey, I'm Tommy, and yours. I'm gonna start getting information from you. But I saw Tom Gavin.
He did.
Ask them where they grew up. See, Tom.
Wrong.
No, Tom is old school.
Yeah, he is.
James, that's what he's. Hey, He's been here. He's been cheating.
Josh
You like
don't mind
that?
telling you what.
He will.
Yeah.
He'll
Hey, good job.
Yeah.
Good job over there.
disarm, make them feel safe and comfortable. Tom Gavin, ask them what's the one item on your wish list that your next home must have. See, I think that's the way a lot of people are building rapport today. Ask them where they grew up. If I were to, hey,
Yeah.
I'd like information on this. Hey, where'd you grow up?
Oh, I grew up in Alabama.
Is that what you'd say to me?
Yeah.
How do? Well, if people are giving you time like that, here's what you'll find. If
Yeah.
people are giving you a lot of time, they ain't buying shit.
Yeah.
The people that are buying are fast. They don't talk very much.
Yeah.
They're guarded. But see, this morning, hey Justin, what's up?
That's good.
This morning, I'm going to give you an example. This is the way the 20. Van, are we frozen up? I look crazy.
No, it's going.
This
It's rolling.
morning, I went to the gas station. Why would I go to the gas station, Josh?
Gas.
Did I want to talk to anybody about anything?
No.
Put my card in there. Hey, you said it was declined.
Yeah.
It wasn't. But I put my card in there, and it starts asking me questions.
Yeah.
Do I want to save 3 cents? Do I want to do this? What is my zip code? It starts asking me things that aren't even important to me. It doesn't even matter, and I automatically start getting anxious. Then we discovered I was probably at the pump for a total of 2 minutes tops. Tell me more about the street you grew up on. See, these questions that you're asking me, Tom, they're for later on in the fact-finding process. What we're talking about this morning is building rapport. How long should a greeting last, Josh?
No more than 5 seconds.
Give me your greeting.
Hi, this is Josh with John Jones Real Estate. How are you today? That was about 3.5 seconds.
That's good. That's good. Then I'm going to, now, here's some things you've got to know. We're talking about building rapport. And what I've done, instead of talking about the whole sales price, I'm really going from a greeting to fact finding. So what, Tom, does it matter about the street that I grew up on? Tom, we're not trying to pick on you. Now, a better way of asking, would you like to live, hey, there ain't no way in hell I want to live on a street that I grew up on. In the hood.
Right.
I don't want to go back to the hood. But I'm going to ask questions like, how did you feel about that? But Tom, I'm not trying to beat you up. So what we're talking about is going from the greeting into fact finding. So the greeting, we're trying to make it fast. 5 to 30 seconds, maybe shorter. But there's other things that are very important. Like Larima has got something in her greeting that unlocks people a lot faster. We have noticed Larima unlocks people a lot quicker, and I haven't gone in there and listened to her. But Van, what do you think Larima does that unlocks people sooner? The biggest problem we have today is people are so guarded, they don't want to give you any information because they don't want to walk into a cell. They don't want to get trapped. So they're very, very cautious. What is her secret sauce, Van?
I think she comes across in a way that just disarms you real quickly. She doesn't sound threatening. She's not pushy. Sounds like she's on a script. She just sounds like she's giving you a call.
I think she's got a very calming voice.
Most women do. Like Ashley, they have just an easy, energetic voice that kind of makes you feel good about talking.
So, see, what I talk about from the greeting into fact-finding with a salesperson, you're going to go into the land of the guarded. Whenever you call people and they know, hey, can I ask you a question? Your girl guarded up immediately.
Yeah.
Whenever people feel like there's a chance they might be sold, they go guard. Put up their dukes. So, for the way we teach it, we want to make sure that our greeting, we're separating ourselves not by time, but by enthusiasm, by demonstrating that we're here to service. We definitely want them to know we're here for them. So right now, from the greeting, before we get into the fact finding, here's where I'm talking about the modern rapport. And I think here's where people kind of blow sales. Get out of the way you're thinking as a salesperson. Eliminate what you're trying to get. Oh, hey, in case we get disconnected, I need your name, your phone number. You ever heard that?
Yeah, it's awful.
Well, how does that make you feel?
Like I want to hang up.
Does it?
Yeah.
Well, the reason why.
I mean, really, it does.
Well, the reason why they're doing that is because they've been taught that.
Yeah.
See, management will ruin sales because a lot of managers hadn't been selling, or they used to sell and now they're outdated. Are you a manager? But you're still in the game, still in the loop. So a lot of it. Do you see where managers are teaching it the old way, or most of your guys? What exactly is your product? Is it
Client retention.
client retention? Okay, so how do you stay? Do you believe that evolves and you got to find new ways to do that?
Absolutely.
See, I can tell by the way you're talking, you're very informed on modern, on modern ways to connect with people, because the way we used to connect with people don't really work, because once our mind discovers and predict, you're just trying to do this little thing here. I know what you're trying to do there, buddy. I know that, and now I can shift away that and throw something else at you to get you off your game. Today, what I know you want, if you're reaching out to me, I know the way I'm going to connect, the way we're going to want the same thing at the same time, I got to want what you want. What do you want?
I'm not sure.
You want information.
Oh yeah, more. Yeah.
You want to get it quickly.
Yeah.
You want to create distance. There's some other things. You don't want to waste my time. What are the other things up there? I don't want to feel obligated. The other way is I want to feel. Do you ever call somebody and they act like, man, we don't have this, or we can't do that, or see, a lot of people go negative before like immediately. They go into a can't do. No, we can't do that. Have you ever heard them do that?
Yes.
Like I've been calling now because of the COVID, and I'm going to pick up food. I'm finding a lot of places don't even answer their damn phone.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
So I'm already mad.
Trying
and
to buy
then
a pizza from you, and you won't even answer the phone.
Hey, then if they finally do answer, what they got to do now is calm me down. They got to connect with me. How can they do that? Josh, I see you're on the phone.
We'll take responsibility for something. Agree. Agree. Yeah.
Right, agree.
Before you start selling me something now, man, you're gonna have to be cool too. You're gonna, hey, I apologize about
Yeah.
that.
I know. I'd be upset too.
If I were you, I wouldn't even want to buy anything. But I got you, man. Please just give me
Second.
one more chance.
Yeah.
So you got to understand how important it is to have this. I call it this mechanical approach in mind, because you can lose the sale this quick. You can lose the sale probably within 10 seconds. The number one thing that could go wrong is like if your attitude kind of crashes and burns. I've really lost interest. You're not even selling at this point. At this point, all you're really doing is showing that you've got a really, really good attitude and you want to help them. And you're trying to get them everything that they want. So that gives us into steps 1 and 2. Do you have any? Usually you've got some.
Well, I'm just thinking about. I like the idea. We've spent a lot of time talking today about you can't talk anybody into doing anything they don't want to do.
No, because I believe.
And you keep talking. You've hit this 3 times today. You're really just trying to give them information to make a decision. You're trying to give them service.
Well, right now,
That's what
whenever they're calling in, they're not in decision-making mode. They're just trying to discover.
That's
They're
right.
just trying to get information, but we're trying to sell them.
Yeah.
You need to be where they are.
That's good.
You need to be where, hey, you're just looking for information. I'm just giving you information. I'm not, hey, I know the last thing you want to do is to commit to making a decision right now. You can say these things, but if they feel comfortable, within 4 seconds, they might be buying everything you got. I bet that's happened to you a lot, isn't it? It's all about making them feel safe. Hey, I don't expect you to come in here right now, Hayden, and buy this. It wouldn't make any sense at all. Why would you do that?
I wouldn't even recommend it.
Hey, why would you even do that? Hey, here's how I might trick you. Why would you even do it?
Yeah.
Then you might tell me why you would. Oh, so you want to go ahead and do it? I mean, the buyers control the process, and we got to allow them to control the process. But we don't do that. So that's another thing salespeople during this process is they've got to understand, just because you came in on something does not mean that's going to be the thing you're going to buy.
Yeah. What if I clicked on the link today for a 5-bedroom house, 4-bath, Well,
then what you might find, I need to, first off, I need to get all my steps 1 and 2 right.
Right.
And it goes real fast. I need to, first off, thank you so much. I want to get you all the information on that.
Yeah.
Then I need to offer right here. I need to offer up things so you can tell me kind of what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get you the price. I'm going to get you all the dimensions in the room. I'm going to talk to you about down payment options, mortgage options. Is there any other houses that you might have some questions about I can get for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, it was the one across the street I liked the most.
Now tell me why you like these. Now I'm going to go into the fact finding, but I'm offering these things up right now to get you to tell me kind of what else you're looking for.
So the gas pump would actually be better to let you go ahead and start pumping gas and then ask you questions while you're
while
standing
I'm
there.
waiting.
Right?
Probably would, but managers, the managers and the higher uppers said, "Hey, let's make them go through this shit before we got them." You're exactly
it makes me
right.
want to pull off.
It is.
I mean,
hey, I might sign up if they said, "Hey, if you won't do it now, will you do it during the middle of it?" Like what you're saying. I might be more willing to do it then.
yeah. So you know what I'm saying?
Because I'm bored.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm doing it,
That's right.
whenever I'm sticking that in there, hey, excuse me. Whenever I'm inserting the card, whenever I'm doing that, I'm focused on. Hey, Greg, what's up, man? I'm focused on getting this done.
You just made me really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, excuse me. Pardon me. But whenever you make that decision, the last thing you really want is something else complicating the process. I don't want to slow this down because I want speed. I want to do it quick. That's another
right.
problem.
That's right.
It's another problem. So now we're moving into fact finding, and here's where people really need to get better at asking relevant questions. Once you've got their attention, once they like you, now you can move into where you're asking questions. These steps are not involving any type of sale. What problem are they trying to solve, and why are they trying to solve the problem? They're not going to buy something unless they believe they've got a problem.
Yeah.
What would you like to accomplish? Why would you like that? How could this help you? Does this make sense for you? I'm asking questions like that. Does this make sense for you?
Yeah, it does.
Now, why does it make sense for you?
Well, I mean, we need a bigger house. I mean, we need that size house. We got to have that neighborhood because that's where my kids go to school.
So every one of my questions, I'm going to say things that you sell your cell phone.
That's right.
Do you see
Again,
what I'm
you're
saying?
trying to
Yeah, is that
service-
clear what I'm saying? I ask
Yeah,
questions.
that makes sense.
And whenever I throw that why in there, he's the one that's validating why he wants to do it.
Yeah. Again, it goes back to the idea you're trying to give them information to service what they want to do.
That's right.
You're not trying to talk them in, you need to live here.
Yeah,
You know?
because whenever I start trying to talk people into things, I feel like my value goes down because the way the brain is wired, whenever something moves toward it, like I want this,
Yeah.
the other person's brain naturally moves away from it. So I'm thinking about that. I don't like to try to talk you into doing something. I'm going to ask people, hey, do you still want to do this? Is this still even the house you want?
Yeah.
So like if we go through a rough spot, to get control of the process, one of the questions I'm going to ask is, they're sitting there and they're complaining about all the things that are wrong, like in a home inspection. Do you ever deal with? But they're going to say this, and that. And my first question is going to be, hey, is this still the house you want? And if they say no, I really can't. I don't really have a way of talking them into it, and I'm not going to.
Because they've already made their mind up, they're not buying it.
Well, I might
Right?
say, like,
Or-
no, now, why did you say no? And if they give me reasons on, hey, well, we could fix this, now would you want it? I don't try to talk. People get very skeptical of being sold. It's sales skepticism, and they don't trust it. And then they'll make a decision based on how they feel than the fact. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
They could get lost in what the salesperson is saying and lose sight of what they want. Well, I don't trust that salesperson. Then they get a bad feeling.
Yeah. Well, specifically in personal development with what we're doing with Coach Burt and the health coaching stuff, if you don't want to do that, I can't help you. If you're not looking for a solution to grow your business or get healthy,
That's exactly
I mean,
right.
I can't talk you into it.
the only way you can is finding out why they want to do this. Because whenever you ask them the why, that's the way you sell them.
That's
That's
right.
how you convince them to do it.
Yeah.
Like this morning. This morning she didn't want to wake up when we had to wake up, but because we've got to go to Atlanta and we're going to see Nick down there. He's with his dad. We had to get up earlier to get all of our stuff done. Had to do an outside workout, an inside workout. I've got to do some other things. But the way I got her up is like, well, hey, I know we only have about 6 days left on this challenge.
Yeah.
So the way I got her out of bed is like, well, you want to go see Nick, don't you? This is why we're doing.
Right.
So that's what got her up. And I know you don't want to stop the challenge. I didn't try to talk her into getting up. I gave her the reason of why it's going to get her excited. Hey, well, you want to go see Nick? You don't want to end this challenge? This is our only option. She was up.
Boom.
That's
Instead of telling her, hey, you need to get up.
yeah, because then she'd just get pissed off at me.
It's
Logical
like, I-
transition.
Logical, agree, assure, transcend. Yes.
That's powerful right there.
What I love, Tommy, is it's the emotional. The decision's made in the emotion, then it's justified by the logic.
That's right. Everything is an emotional until you logically decide. We make sense of things logically. We get excited emotionally. Emotion gets us there. Logic gets us home. Do you have any more questions? Because I got to shut her down a little earlier today.
No, that's pretty good what he just said right there. I think you've opened my eyes this morning to help me get better this week because I'm approaching you, the callers, the potential buyers we've got, the leads. I'm just trying to service what they need. In order to do that, I got to ask them a couple questions. I got to build some trust up early in the greeting, and then
Well,
just
but
maybe-
see, if I'm reaching out to you, you need to communicate with me where we're mutual, where we're together. So if I'm calling you, the fastest you could connect to me is by, pretty much saying, hey, we don't expect you to buy. I know you're just looking for information. I'm
Yeah.
sure you're wanting to save the most
Yeah.
money, get the best deal. How will we connect? Then, once I feel comfortable, I may overpay for the rest of the shit. You just
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you can just get me comfortable. But the hardest problem of dealing with 21st century shoppers is they've got a lot of information, but they're very guarded and they've been sold so many times. Today, you've already been sold many times. We're so used to it that we've kind of developed this callous brain where it's just this morning you get on your Facebook, you get ads.
yeah.
So what happens is you just get to where you don't trust anybody that's approaching you.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
A lot of people,
Yes.
they're scared to answer the phone.
Yeah.
They know you're trying to sell them.
So,
So-
really, my intention for everything needs to be I want to connect and give you some information about.
Well, say it's
Or is
got to
that
be
too soft?
no, boss. So you've got to build a lot more. You got to do a lot more modern rapport building with people.
Yeah.
Whenever they trust you, they're probably more likely to answer the phone or they'll call you back.
Yeah.
But probably a lot of them just feel like he's trying to sell me something.
Yeah. Sure.
Because you guys have called enough people, that's what they think. So they're not going. See, another thing they could be doing is they don't want to waste your time.
They're not interested.
They're
at all.
not interested right now, so I don't want to waste your time.
Yeah.
I don't want to get your hopes up, buddy.
Yeah.
I ain't buying nothing from you.
That's
But
right.
buddy. But whenever people whenever, see, so I mean, if people would get a lot more transparent with people, you'd be a lot better salesperson. But a lot of salespeople, they try to sneak things.
Yeah. I
I don't
agree.
trust you. Let's-
Yeah.
Over talking.
They try to sneak things past you.
Yeah.
And now we're not connected.
Just trying to get that commission check.
Hey, the 25K, that's a lot of money. 25.
I talked to two guys
How can
yesterday.
you make sense of doing this?
Yeah.
That's a hard question that some people may not want to ask.
Yeah, but again, you're trying to help them make a decision.
That's right. But by asking people, how can you make sense of doing that? That's a question. That is a great question to ask people because it unlocks them. And you're like, well, you're not supposed to talk me out of buying this. No, my job is to connect, to help you.
To help you
To
get
help you
certainty.
make your best decision.
Yeah.
How can you make sense of doing this? And then when they start telling you how and why they can do it, that's when the magic happens.
Yeah.
They sell themselves at that point.
Yeah.
Why would you want to do it? How can you make sense? What would this do for you? Do you believe this would help you?
Yeah.
Those are questions where it forces that person into answering it, and now they're talking themselves, or they're giving you the reason why they can't.
Yeah. Gosh, so good.
Is it?
Yeah. Why have we not talked about the idea of servicing people before? Why have you been holding back?
Well,
on that?
that's. I think
Is that
we
something
talk
new for you
about
guys?
that. No, we talk about that. That's that is more of a belief where
Yeah.
you're doing it for them. Like you saying somebody did something good when they really didn't. My opinion is I need to be honest with Hayden so I can help him. I'm coming from a
that's true.
service. It ain't just about chumming. Greg, poor Greg Higley. What we say to him? What'd you say? Dude, you're good.
Sounds good.
You sounds good.
Damn good job.
Man, it was terrible.
Great job.
And he's out there starving to death. 'cause
But
they
hey,
sell him.
the fact I told him that, we can improve that though.
Yeah, sure. Right.
He can improve. Now, guess what? Now he trusts me.
Yeah.
Who's he gonna trust more? Somebody saying that's good. He knows. By the way, it ain't no good. He knows.
Yeah.
He sees what you're doing.
So he's got no trust in this guy because he won't tell him the truth.
Yeah. Me on
Right.
the other hand, yeah. I mean, I
So I
think
have a high
I think
level of trust with you because you tell me. I mean, you tell me the truth. I don't like it
I
sometimes.
think that's what people want.
I agree.
And I think the most important thing you can do is the trust thing. Hard questions build the most. Hey, how can you justify spending $60,000 on this tractor?
I'm not spending 60.
Most people are going to tell him
Yeah.
why he needs to buy it and give you all the reasons. But what if deep down he don't believe that?
You can't talk them into it.
Decision phenomenon occurs whenever people make the decision before they even tell you. They've already made the decision. They're going to do it. Now you just ask the question instead of telling them. They just close themselves. I really flunked this quiz today. If it sounds like I wouldn't say that, Tom Gavin.
No.
Passed.
Did
We're
he?
all
Of
learning.
course.
You did great, Tom.
Tom, you were awesome, man. Hey, tell me about the street.
You passed for answering the question. That's
All right,
really
Tom. I'm
all
gonna
it
tell
is.
Tom the truth. Tom, this was not your best day.
Yeah, but-
However, we're all getting better. I mean, we're all
Man,
working
what
on
You gotta
it.
be bad to get good.
You got to start out bad, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, some
I
people,
was much worse than Tom was.
You gotta start somewhere.
some people are naturally good at dropping people's guard. Lorema, she just knows how to drop
Well,
people's
let's
guard.
could she talk about how she does that? Because I mean, we've referenced that a couple times, but I haven't heard her say. I haven't gotten any real. How do you feel like you're good at that?
Just getting more personal
Oh,
with
okay.
them. Like
Yeah.
getting excited with what they're excited about.
Okay.
I think she's really she might not even know, but she's just always she really does want to help people, and I think
Okay,
people
that
receive
comes across.
Like she even in her
Emotions
greeting, you can tell
match.
she's of service.
Right.
She just wants to help them out.
She's
Yeah.
always smiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something about someone who's always smiling.
Mhm.
Whenever they're talking.
Hey,
I almost feel like-
smiling, posture, all these things go into it. So, I'm my shoulders aren't very mobile, and they hurt. And a lot of times I sit like this because it's comfortable. But when I'm talking to people, they're thinking, "Damn, he ain't interested."
They don't care about
Closed
what I'm
off.
It's
Yeah.
arrogant.
It's I mean, but really, this is just it's just comfortable because when my stomach or my shoulders sag, it pulls back here, and it's like my posture sucks.
So if I was working with you, I'd say it looks like maybe you're not interested in this concept. Is your arms are folded?
If I'm the salesperson or
Yeah.
the client,
Yeah. Like if I'm talking to you, and I'm picking up on that signal. Did I ask you about that?
if you're the
Seems like you're not interested in this.
am I the buyer or are you?
Yeah,
the
you're the buyer.
Tommy's the buyer.
If I'm the buyer, I would be very careful about pissing me off because if you make me
No,
mad,
you pissed off's not good.
nobody mad
'Cause
is
then
good.
he's gonna say, well, I sit like this, my damn shoulders hurt.
Yeah.
But whenever you get upset about something, you become more certain.
That's right.
And you become, and then you get emotional, and then you make. So I would never say something to the buyer that might upset them.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a way to ask that though, isn't it, man? I could be totally wrong, but by
Hey,
by
Joy
your
Calvin.
arms- by your arms being crossed, is that?
I don't know if it matters. I mean, I don't even know if I'd bring that
I
up.
wouldn't.
I
You wouldn't bring it
that
up, Josh. You just let it go.
No, yeah, I was just, hey, Send with
Now, I
the-
I will ask hard questions, but I'm not gonna ask something that might,
Like,
if
man,
you
you're
piss,
standing weird. You look pissed.
if you do something like that,
That
you
is something
just
make you
don't know
mad.
how they're gonna respond to that. You
Because
don't,
some, I mean, don't you think because some like high D people, they're always, you know,
Yeah,
they're just always.
I tend to mirror the body language, whatever they're doing. They're closed off, I close off.
some people do that, but everything I'm doing, it's gonna be like a pitch and catch where I'm gonna ask you questions and everything you say back. I've gotta have a structure. I don't believe in scripts, I believe in call structure.
Flow.
I believe in, well, it's a process. Like if you say this, I'm gonna say this, or I'm gonna ask you this, and I'm gonna ask you these questions. I'm not gonna throw scripts at you. Everybody, I gotta shut it down
It's
because
10:30.
my wife is gonna be ready. I'm gonna try to sneak in another
Bless
segment.
her heart.
Van, are you in there?
Yep.
Shut us down.
Sleep.